Good evening. This is Norma Cowie with this week's Mental Mind Treatments. I just want to say I apologies for people last week who were trying to get on. I still don't know what happened. That where you write your comments didn't come through. So I've put one up there. So I'm hoping that those of you that are on are able to write something on there. I'd appreciate knowing that it is working this time. Because unfortunately I turned my phone off, so there's no sounds there, because at least I think I've done that. So I don't really get to see what that is, and it's in another part of the room. Mental mind treatments, I do have a description that's in there, but I also want to explain my journey with mental mind treatments. I, like a lot of people who went to Sunday school, learned how to pray, and it was always about pleading and please. And, it was kind of like I felt a little bit groveling about what you wanted in your life or how you wanted things to work out. So for years, I tried to figure out a method that you could pray that was A, effective, and B, was everything that was going on. Now, for those of you looking, you'll see Marion has put a thing in here saying, yes, I have, it's working, yay. Anyway, so I ended up joining a church actually in Vancouver, and learned this mental mind treatment. But I'm a psychic, and I'd spent years before that learning and training to be a psychic. And what happens is that as I am in that prayer mode, other pieces of information come to me. And even today as well, sometimes things that I know I will put in as well. So it's kind of a package deal. You've got this is the formula that I work on, but also sometimes there's other instances or awarenesses and things that come on in. And consequently, I am able to do what I call the mental mind treatments when I decided I wanted to do this for people. And because I felt like I do a certain amount of talking, excuse my throat, this thing tends to happen when I begin. Throat's a little tinged today for some reason, but anyhow, I've got my water here if it gets really bad. I do two talking elements. Wednesdays, Norma Talks, where I talk probably anywhere from 15 to 20 odd minutes. When I first started, they were about an hour. That was, but then I kind of moved that shorter. And then a Sunday Thought, which is usually no more than 10 minutes. So I wanted to do something that was practical without reading tarot cards, which I do for a living. And there are a lot of tarot card readers out there. And I didn't, even though I have a different way of approaching them, I didn't feel that I wanted to do that. But I do like doing mental mind treatments. I find them beneficial, not only to me, because I have to really move into the energy. And I find they work, which is really good. And we have a couple of people on. Marion actually has put in, said, good evening. Just letting me know that they are working, that you for this, thanks for the mental mind treatment. I know that I'm going to be doing for you right now. And your prayers are so powerful and healing, which I really, really appreciate. And Karen, I see you there, and I'll be with you in a minute, a second or two. Okay. Talk about physical healing. I'm looking down here and I got a number of physical healings. So let me just have another drink of water, please. Now, I'm going to do this for Marion. I know there is one power and one essence that's all loving and all supporting. And into this loving energy, I speak my word, and I speak my word for Marion. As I speak my word for Marion, I know that physical healing takes place with ease and speed and a sense of freedom, allowing freedom to move forward, allowing freedom to embrace what life is bringing and what life is offering. It's as though there's a showering of benefits and awarenesses and growth and progress that is coming in. And so, therefore, I give thanks and knowing that not only the physical healing, but much more is coming into the life, into the awareness, into the sense of being. And it's for this knowing, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I release this knowing that it is done and true. This beautiful physical healing and all the other rewards. And I say, and so, and I release this with, and so it is. Amen. Okay, Karen, my dear, so glad to be able to communicate again. Yes, that was tough last week. I would love a treatment to feel more empowered. And thanks for your great insight. Oh, yes, thank you very much. I'm just going to make myself a note here too. So, okay. Knowing this beautiful one power extends all around in the world and that we bring that close. I speak my word for Karen. And as I speak my word for Karen, I know that self-empowerment is just ever and always a breath away. Is that we breathe in confidence and we breathe out fear. We breathe in confidence deeper into ourselves and we breathe out the fear that lurks and lies in not supporting oneself and not believing in oneself. So in some ways, the breath right now is important. Breathing in and that feeling of empowerment, that feeling of success, that feeling of achieving, to allow that all in. But every time you breathe out, you breathe out the fear, the resistance, all the other little scaries that go on within your thinking process as to how come you're not where you want to be or what life is bringing you. This is about letting go of all the resistance so that you can be your own empowerment, be with your own sense, because the universe says to think it, you have it. Then you're going to clear anything out that isn't 100% supportive of that. I am so grateful in being able to see this for you. And I am grateful in knowing that it is done, that you are an empowered person. And I release this thought into the universe, knowing it is true, that Karen, you are empowered and you have the ability to let go anything that says you are not. Any thought, any feeling, any way of shrinking, you release it. You breathe it out and you breathe in your own empowerment of knowing the I am who I know I am. And so that moves in an incredible, beautiful way. I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing it is done, by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay. So good luck for you. Now we're going to go to Kayla, who also very kindly let me know what she wanted earlier, just in case. And she says, we are so grateful to your treatments, gifts, and your beingness. And I bless you for that, for sure, Kayla, because I love doing these. I do. I love them. And I am so glad and grateful that people are grateful for them and enjoy them. And I do get emails, not so much emails, but messages and comments that come through to me from the site. Kayla, I'm taking a big breath as I move into the vibration of the oneness and connecting it with your vibration. And know that your general health is strengthening and therefore increasing, but strengthening in so many ways. Your resolution, your resolving, your letting go of things that have impeded or have worn heavily on you. And as often we do sometimes with self-forgiveness, we let go, but it just feels as your general health increases, you do become your own best friend. You do become aware of your possibilities. When it is done bit by bit by bit, small increments happening all the time. Sometimes it feels like we never get where we want to be. but all of a sudden we're there. Because very often when it comes to general healing, takes time. Now, I have a saying that I often tell my clients, and is that time is your friend. It's in one of my books, actually. It's showing what the affirmations I used to use years ago to help me through things. Time is your friend. And that's with the general healing, excuse me again, is that time is important here because it's in a small mention. So that loving energy, that loving sense of your being, as my eyes just picked up that you said, oh, I forgot to mention love. Well, love's always there. It's always a part of that. And that's what the loving, and that's what it shows here, is that the increments of time is healing. As you're letting go all of the over responsibility, the fear of the fear in here of who am I, what am I, where am I, and where am I now, and why am I not back there or back? It's like slowly, it's got to be slowly as you move forward, as the health increases in such an easy way of moving forward and enjoying and knowing all the increments of who you are and where you're heading. I give thanks in knowing that your general health is increasing and that you feel your own love in it, of the universe so much inside you anyway. It's just a matter of relaxing into it and knowing time is your friend. Time is taking you in these small little steps to exactly where you need to be, where you have the energy, the awareness that you can depend on you, you can love you, you can understand who you are and what you're wanting. And it's like letting go of all the other stuff, letting go of all the other things that impede you in any way, shape, or form. Now, I just feel I want to say in here, one of the big things that I found very important in my own element of time as my friend was to forgive myself when I mess up, to forgive myself when I forget to hold the love force in my mind's eye and to feel it so strongly. Self-forgiveness is really big. And I know you do that, but I feel here that this is what I'm seeing is this time is my friend, this time that is in small increments, but you'll get to a place and you look back and think, oh, look how far I've come, but it just feels like a grind. And the key is to allow the grind leaving so that you are free to flow with ease and with grace as you move forward. And therefore, I give thanks in the knowing that you, my dear Kayla, is moving to absolute increased physical health, absolutely into wonderful strength of knowing, great in that loving not only yourself, but the world. But it's all in your healing is in increments. And it's day by day, by day, by day, by day. And it may not feel like you have moved any, but you have. And in that movement, you will succeed and achieve. So I give thanks as I release this thought out to the universe, knowing that it is absolutely done. It is happening. It is working. And that you are in your oneness and in your ease and in your grace. And for this knowingness, I truly say, thank you, thank you, thank you. As we release this, it's done. Karen says, thank you. I will do the breathing exercise every day. Yeah, just until it feels comfortable. Just until you feel that you know that you begin, because when we get to feel the empowerment, what we do is we forget to do that which keeps us there. But the thing is to remember when you need to do it again. Otherwise you don't want to be just doing something by rote, because then it doesn't work as effectively. So I'll be thinking and blessing you, and trustingly next Monday we can just see how you're doing. And Marion says, thank you, Norma. That's wonderful. Okay, I'm going to move to some others that I have in my book, because I don't want to be quitting here just within 15 minutes. But anyway, am I getting faster, or are we just getting less people? Who knows? Okay, this is for Mr. J. I am move into that connection of knowing that there is one power and one essence in all things. I therefore then come into an alignment with Mr. J. And I know that the feeling of love and the feeling of strength and the feeling of personal power is within, growing with every breath. I know there is a sense of recognizing that love exists totally, and that it is a feeling that can be accepted, can be brought forward, and can be experienced and enjoyed. In knowing this, in knowing that Mr. J is able to feel love, accept it, be it, and have it grow within, I am extremely, extremely grateful. And in the gratitude, I release this. With this whole thought of knowing that love grows with every breath that is taken. And I release this with gratitude and my love by saying, and so it is. Amen. I'm just going to make a comment here. Interestingly, I had a session with a gal I know quite well. And anyway, I said some things to her that she got kind of confused. She had spent a lot of time with me a number of years ago, and anyway, she got confused by what I said, and to make a long story short, she had texted me, which upset me because how could I, leaving her in confusion. And I texted something back right away, and because I was busy with a wedding when all this information kind of came in just before I was leaving for that. And so I was able to speak with her today, and we cleared up the little few incidences of things that I had said. And it's really interesting how when you feel you've done what you needed to do, and the other recipient doesn't always get it, or it is conflicted with other decisions or beliefs or attitudes that they've had. But I had surprise with myself because it bothered me from the time I got the original text message to the time I spoke to her. And then I realized that it had been there, but she had cleared it quite quickly herself. And yet I had sort of sat and stewed every now and again on it. And I just realized how often we do things like that. And I'm lucky I'm able to do, what can I say? I'm able to do treatments for myself, for sure, because that's how I learned, first of all. But it's also knowing that it's okay to be a human being. That maybe we're not perfect, we're not paragons of virtue, as some people talk about it, and that I had missed something, and it wasn't that I missed it; it was just that I hadn't caught that this person was a little bit unsure about what I was saying in relation to what she understood previously. And so I just needed to sort of say that a little bit, because that happens to all of us. And I felt so much better once I had spoken to her, because I was usually moving to a self-forgiveness state to get myself kind of settled. And I'd done some more, I'd actually done 2 more sessions with different people. And so I was a busy girl Saturday afternoon and Sunday. And it's an interesting, what can you say? An interesting situation to recognize that we can work and understand and know so much more. And yet we still, when we're not sure of something, or we feel we've done something, quote, incorrectly or not well enough, how we'll go into some of our old programming. And my job is to clear programming for people. And this is what I do. And I understand it. And yet I fussed over this inside, mainly because this person is very important to me. She's been around in my life for a long, long time. And even though I haven't seen much of her, it disturbed me that she wasn't feeling great. And of course, I never got an email back, a text back saying, I'm feeling better now. But anyway, just know that you are a human, that you have emotions, and you have old programming. I was explaining to someone today, I don't know why this seems like a good time to talk about it, is that within the subconscious mind, it's like people who have gardens weed them. And yet somehow in the spring, all the weeds come back up. And that's what happens with us. We can clear a lot of our programming. We can clear on many, many, many different levels. And then all of a sudden, we find ourselves acting out an old program. The thing is to catch it. I'm fortunate now that I've spent a long time looking at my own programming, and so I'll catch it. Yeah. But that doesn't mean always that it's easy to just say, okay, that's that. Let's clear it. Because until it's resolved, and it can be resolved through your own self-forgiveness, but it also can be resolved by speaking to the people that you still harbor or are upset about, etc., which I did today. Was just, and because I had said, I'll talk to you when you get back. She had gone away. Anyway, when we come to empowerment, when we come to our healing, what we see here is that things often have a little bit of time that we need to work through. And we have feelings that come. And some of that old programming, even though you've cleared it, there it boils its head. And that's one of the things I knew right away. Norma, what are you doing? You know, you're getting your stomach in a knot over this. You'll take care of it later when you get to talk. But it's like we will often agitate things like that. And so the key is awareness, to be aware of that. So I'm going to let that go. Anyway, I was aware of it, cleared it up. My stomach feels good now. Okay, another mental mind treatment from my collection here. Interestingly enough, it's another J, but it's a Miss J this time. I know there is one power in the one essence, and I know that this power exists all over and connects us all. And because I'm connected to Miss J, I am able to speak my word for her. As I speak my word for Miss J, I know I feel confident as I move forward in what I need to do to create my new world. As I move forward, creating my new world, I let go of the old inner perceptions of myself and my abilities. I accept that life itself, the wonderful universe, the loving universe, has my back and supports me as I move forward. That the blocks also will be cleared so it is easy for me to find a place to live in, so I can begin and create my new life. The confidence grows with every breath. The confidence grows with every day. And the new residence and the new life unfolds exactly as it needs to for Miss J's highest and best. I give thanks in knowing that the highest and best for her is being played out, you might say, by having residence, having place to live, having a new awareness in a new city and a whole new environment. And mostly is that she herself feels confident in who she is, confident to move forward, confident to create a world that suits her without trying to please everybody else. I give thanks in the freedom that Miss J will experience and is experiencing. I give thanks in knowing that Miss J will create exactly what is needed for her, a new home, a new place, everything new. And so that growth can ensue with a whole different awareness. In my gratitude for Miss J's movement forward, I know that it is already happening and will be done. And I release this thought knowing it is true. To feel confident and move forward in life is exactly where and what is going to happen. And so I say, as I release this thought, and so it is. Amen. And now I'm going to do one more. And I haven't got some of my usual people who support me, and I appreciate it so much. We don't have any new people today, but that's quite all right. I'm going to do one more that I have written down here, and that is for a Mr. B. I know that in the one power and the one essence, that we're all connected through this love force. And therefore, I speak my word for Mr. B, knowing that physical healing, which needs to take place, will be taking place with ease and with grace. The right solutions, the absolute for the highest and best of Mr. B, will be created, said, done, and they will activate. The activation within the physical body at this time is very important to be able to create a beautiful sense for healing and moving forward as much as possible. I give thanks in knowing that physical healing, help, and awareness for Mr. B will be taking place as he moves forward in his world. And I release this thought knowing that it is done, knowing that it is true. Physical healing is taking place. And for this knowingness, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I take a deep breath. Now, has anybody else got anything else they would like? Because if not, I'm going to close this. I might do one more for myself. But anyway, if anybody else has anything, just please write and type it in. If not, I'm going to give you a few more seconds here. And by the way, I noticed there's 4 people. We've got five thumbs up, which is great. Appreciate it. Gosh, I this is the one thing these Monday nights do is of all the things, because I have feedback, is make me feel, it makes me feel appreciated. And that is really nice. I think when you live alone and then you don't have, like you say, a lot of things happening. And now I don't see people personally because since the lockdowns, I've thought, and because of where I live now, is that everything is done by Zoom pretty well. So it's all, but so here having you make your comments, having you write, what it does, it just fills me full of just appreciation of people, but also appreciation of my work. Because so often it's like, you guys give me feedback, which is really nice. I also found when I was doing a Sunday thought, and I do that live, is I left the comment out, but of course I was doing it really early because I had other things I had to do Sunday. So I wanted to, I was early because there's no real time set on that because it depends on what else is going on. But I do want you to know I appreciate you. I appreciate Karen's tends to be always there. And today, my 2 good friends, Marion and Kayla, appreciate each and every one of you. And I know that the law of love says, whatever you want, you can have with ease and with grace. Just know that it is true for you. Know that it is there. And know that is all coming. And of course, that also goes for myself. So I wanted to go till 7:30, 2 minutes to go. So I'm going to call off and by doing a little treatment for myself and the awareness of my next step, we'll say. Divine Essence, Mother, Father, Son, as one. I'm doing a prayer for myself and knowing that all things are exactly as they meant to be. I also know that I can overthink and I can overfigure, and I release and let go of all trying to figure it out and allow things to occur exactly as they need to. The awareness of time and space, the awareness of where and what I need to do and be, I allow that to really become at one with all things and not let my mental self race ahead of me. I give thanks in knowing that the universe is there, the love is there, and that I'm able to move forward in appreciation, awareness, growth, and that the love force strengthens and deepens even more inside of me as I move forward. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you for being there and allowing me to be me. And so I release this knowing it is true that all the help, all the awareness that I need is there for me now. Oh, thank you. As I was doing that one was when Google Pieces come on, and I enjoy seeing you live. And thanks for sharing your wisdom. Bless you. Thank you. And I'll be back. I'll be back actually Wednesday with Norma Talks. And I'll be back again on Sunday with a Sunday Thought. And somewhere in there, I'm going to do another movie review because I saw a movie yesterday. I just didn't put it together yet. I do a little bit of research and then I put it together, but probably in the next tomorrow or the next day for sure, I'm going to put it up. So that's something you can look forward to because those of you that have subscribed, you get a little notice when I'm up on air. Bless you. Thank you. Have a great week. And we'll see you. And I forgot to say thank you for your shares, for your comments, for your subscriptions, etc. I noticed we had another one come in this week, so I appreciate that. I'm a full appreciation right now. So thank you. Lots of love to everybody.